Mm. You know what's my favorite part about the holiday season, Lynn?
What?
Being borderline lactose intolerant, yet having a hot chocolate basically every day.
What?
I lack toes and tolerance.
Okay. Sh- should you be drinking that right now?
No, it's a bad
Okay.
idea.
Rest in peace.
My stomach.
Yeah.
But happy holidays,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
We got our Christmas shirts, my Santa outfit,
Yeah.
and Lynn's having a Barbie Christmas.
A very Barbie winter wonderland, some might say.
And this will be one of two holiday focused Christmas episodes. We're going to do a Am I the Scrooge instead of an Am I the Asshole episode. And then next week we are going to do a little Christmas episode similar to the Halloween episode we did.
Yes.
So, what kind of posts did you get organized for us this week, Lynn? Because I know you're the supreme Redditor. You know more
Yeah.
about Reddit than I would ever know.
I'm such a Redditor, let me tell you. Some of these posts, some of these people really are the Scrooge, and it just
Mhm.
makes you wonder what were they thinking. So let's go ahead and dive into our first one.
Just jump straight into it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go for it.
Alrighty.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Oh, okay. All right, never mind.
See,
Just
if we
kidding.
if we don't screen share, it's less work for me because it's less editing.
Oh, okay. And it's the holiday season, so we're trying to be I'm giving you something. This is your gift.
Yeah, giving me less
Yeah.
stress.
All right. So for the first one here, am I the Scrooge for not giving up my Christmas annual leave so my coworker can spend some time with her kids? This boss said there's one gap left for annual leave on Christmas and they've been saving it for me. According to him, any new employees, once they pass the probation period, will get the first Christmas off. Here's the thing, I don't care if I work Christmas or not, and I'll be on my own this Christmas as I don't celebrate it. 2 days later, this was 3 days ago, I had a colleague come up to me and she was asking about annual leave and asked if I would consider switching, and my response was no. She then started going on about how she has kids and what I would be doing this Christmas, and I just said no. She seemed moody and walked away. Later that night, I got home and my nephew video called me from his mom's phone. When she got the phone, we caught up. Here's the thing though, before my sister gave birth to her son, this happened and was in complete agreement with me in a previous workplace. Brought this up with my sister. My sister said I'm being a bit selfish as I'm child free and she has kids. She's working and I'm not, which means she won't be able to see her kids for long on Christmas Day. She also brought up the fact that I'm not bothering to come up and see family this Christmas and will be spending 3 of the days phone free, so I won't be communicating with anyone. Am I the Scrooge for not giving up my annual leave to a mom with kids when I'm going to be off and she's going to be working, even though I don't care if I work or don't work? Oof.
Okay, let me say, if he was hoping to see his nephew and his
Mhm.
sister and all these other things,
Yeah,
he has every right to see them. If
right.
he didn't have, because he doesn't have kids, like that's the family he wants to see.
Mhm.
Him pointing out though that he is not going to see them, and even the sisters saying he's selfish, like, yeah, you're the Scrooge. You're a bit of an ass for doing that.
Yeah, and my thing is too, it's like, okay, you're gonna spend 3 days phone free. Sure, that sounds really nice, but it's
Hmm.
also like you said you don't celebrate Christmas, and you also said that you did not have any plans for that day. And I don't know, if I were in that position, I would definitely want someone to spend time with their family, especially like if they have younger kids. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I think they're definitely the Scrooge here. But also, I feel like the coworker also shouldn't have pushed and kind of like almost like guilt tripped them, I guess, by saying
Hmm.
like, "Oh, well, I have kids and like this and that." Like, I don't know. That's just kind of,
Yeah,
but still,
I agree. That is a little rude just to be like, hey, let me get let me make you feel bad about what you're about to
Yeah.
do if you say no. But then she
Ooh.
clearly talked to someone who couldn't give less of a fuck.
Yeah.
But then what kind of job does he have based on the description? He just says
Sure.
communication. So what? He could just be some sort
Like,
of business. I don't know.
yeah.
Just a Dwight.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had times where I worked at places and my coworkers had like previous engagements or have like children that they want to spend time with. And I mean, this was primarily like while I was working at Disney. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like when you're a college program, like you are like worked, like
Oh yeah.
overworked. But it's like,
You're
I,
bottom of the barrel.
yeah, yeah. I remember I had Halloween off, and one of my coworkers was also a scare actor at Halloween Horror Nights, and he really wanted to work that night. So I was
Mm.
like, I don't have any Halloween plans. Like, what am I gonna do? Just like sit in my apartment and like hang out?
Mm-hmm.
Like have my night. Obviously not the same, but it's kind of like if someone had kids and they're like, "Oh, well, I really want Christmas off." I'd be like, "Okay, like, I mean, it sucks, but you get that holiday pay."
Yeah. Well, that was another thing I was going to bring up. If normally, what do you say? Like the first, like the new people, they get their first Christmas off.
Yeah, so there is like an edit at the top, which I was gonna bring up, but it says, "Holy shit, just went on Reddit and did expect this to blow up. I, 25 female, and not sure if it's relevant, but I've chosen a child-free life." Which, okay, like you do you. About 3 months ago, I started a new job and have just passed my probation period, and now my bosses are sorting out my annual leave with me. I feel like at that point, like if they are trying to offer the new hire, like, hey, like you'll have this Christmas off, we're still trying to sort that out, then I feel like at that point it is like an issue with the management.
Mm-hmm. Is it bad that I visualized this whole thing was a man? Like when you
Oh,
first read it, I imagined it was
yeah,
a guy saying this, and he was just like, "I don't want kids. I'm just by myself." But
yeah,
okay, it doesn't really change the fact that it's like it's still a coworker. Like end of
yeah,
the day, equal.
yeah.
But I don't know. I also think like you said, if it was holiday pay, that'd be
Hmm.
nice.
Hmm.
And then like you could just talk to your boss and be like, if I'm not getting this Christmas time off and I'm giving it to someone else, can I have
Hmm.
the same number of days off early January or something like that?
Exactly, because if they're already being so flexible with you,
Mm-hmm.
like you have that opportunity to run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like this
I
is
th-
just
I think
crazy.
big time Scrooge, but also the mother kind of guilt tripped.
Yeah. And I also feel like it's a management thing too. I don't know. To me, it feels like kind of weird. Like, I understand, like, this person's a new hire, so they probably want to make a good impression, I guess. But also, I feel like you should take care of your employees that have been there
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit longer.
Yeah, definitely.
But also, it kind of raises the question it's like, why didn't the mom request that day off?
But oh,
Like,
hold on. Here's a weird balancing thing.
yeah.
If you're there longer, you're senior, you're
Hmm.
more valuable, so they want you on the days where they'll have less people available.
Oh, to handle everything.
But then if you're a new hire, they don't really care that much, but they also want to give a good impression of the company, so they want to give you this perk or two when you first come on so that it's like more incentive to stay. So it's a
Yeah.
weird balancing act of, well, a senior deserves more perks because they've earned them,
Hmm.
but a new hire wants a stronger introduction, so they also deserve perks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that also kind of brings up the question to me too, where it's like this person just said, what? Hold on, let me get the tab open. Started like 3 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just now getting that sorted out. And it's like, what happens if this person like started like sooner? Like they probably would not have had that option.
That's another weird thing about like probation period is
Yeah,
what if it overlapped with like a major event for like because like take a wild guess. This
yeah.
person's from North America. They're from either the US or Canada.
Hmm.
So they're going to naturally have like a holiday break.
Yeah.
Like when I was on internship, it was just a holiday break, and I think Christmas last year it lined up like a Thursday or a Friday of the year.
Hmm.
So my job just did 2 full days, a half day where we went to a a Christmas dinner, like as a company, and then we had 2 days off, and then the weekend, and then we just
Yeah.
went back to normal after that. But like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is just weird.
And it also, like, I just keep, the more we talk it out, the more questions I have that just keep like popping up in my head. But
Yeah, we
also
need more
makes,
details. That's
yeah,
what we
but
need.
it makes me wonder back to what you asked earlier. It's like, what industry do they work in? Because I
Hmm.
feel like what they said communications, or you said you saw
But
communications.
yeah, she said or she's gonna be communication free for 3 days. So does that mean
Oh,
she's like shutting off her phone and ignoring her family for 3 days, or is she shutting off her work communication? Because that's unclear.
yeah. This person really like the whole shutting my phone off. Like,
Hmm.
honestly, that must be so nice. But that paired with like the situation that happened, they're definitely a
They
Scrooge.
they did phrase this to be like against them because they basically say, I want my Christmas, but I'm not going to see anyone. And the whole point of Christmas is to like be with family, like
Yeah,
realistically.
exactly.
Scrooge, big time Scrooge.
Huge Scrooge.
What is the, I can't see like the asshole or not asshole or Scrooge or not Scrooge. What does it say for us?
What do you mean?
Like, don't these posts say like asshole or not asshole?
Oh, yeah. That one said they're definitely the asshole. So definitely the Scrooge. We have the majority here.
All right, good.
Um,
It's not like that knife one from the last time we did Am I the Asshole?
oh, yeah, where it's like, we're actually in the wrong. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
I think the
Um,
short of that as well, I saw comments that were like, my kid started using knives and cooking in the kitchen with me. He was supervised when he was like 8. And it's like all these comments. I'm like, okay, I get it. We're in the fucking wrong. Sorry.
yeah. I remember after filming, I was like, "Hey, when did I use a knife?" And I found out it was age 7, so
Oh, to your parents?
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know when I would have started. But yeah.
it's
Well,
crazy.
let's move on to story number 2. What do you have
Ooh.
for us? What Scrooge do you have for us this time?
This one, I read it and I was like, "All right, we have to do this one."
Okay.
Am I the Scrooge for saying I won't come to Christmas at my in-laws if I can't wear a hat? This
What?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Like, what? All
My
right,
brain will immediately go to chemo or like some unfortunate disease where like they naturally lose hair.
you're gonna
That's what
be
I'm
in
thinking.
for a real shock.
Okay,
All right.
let's hear it, Lynn.
This is a petty little thing, but maybe you guys can help me know if I was in the wrong. I, 25 female, got married in November. My mother-in-law doesn't really like me, even trying to steal the spotlight at my wedding, but is still overly traditional. At Thanksgiving, I was having a really bad hair day. So I wore a black leather cap, a dressier newsboy style one, which my husband said looked great on me. The holiday was hostile, even more so than prior gatherings than I've been to, and hubby said mother-in-law said it was because I wore a hat, but I know it was just an excuse. I told mother-in-law I would not come to Christmas with them, then blocked her number and Facebook. My
Oh
husband is
no,
trying.
not blocking the Facebook,
Oh yeah, that's like the nuclear option there.
especially against a mother-in-law.
Oh, for sure. She can't
She
see
can't
what's
handle
going
that.
on. Yeah. My husband is trying to keep us both happy since he doesn't like conflict. He wants me to come to one more celebration to see if maybe people are getting used to me. He's told mother in law she needs to be nice and treat me as a part of the family since I am, and then if I feel unwelcome at Christmas like I did at Thanksgiving, then we won't attend future events and see him much anymore. I understand why he wants me to give her one final chance and haven't had any conflict with him. Marriage is about compromise, and I get that. He doesn't want to cut her off since she's his mother, but I just don't want to be involved with her unless I have to be. Oof. I wanted to see if mother in law was listening to him, so I asked my husband to request that I be allowed to wear the same hat to Christmas. Hus I can't. The hat and the description she gave too. We gotta pull up a visual soon. Hubby said he thought I'd worn it since I had a bad hair day, but this time it's a statement that they shouldn't treat me as an outsider, either because I wear hats all the time. Right now it's just a sports visor, which I'd never wear to a holiday, so it's not like I'm doing that. Or they just don't like me. If they won't let me wear a hat, what else are they going to restrict about me? Let me be or I won't come. Period. My husband agreed and relayed this to my mother-in-law, and she's been asking him why he has married the devil.
Oh,
Oh. He's growing tense with me, and I told him he'll probably have to pick a side sooner or later, and that I never intended it that way. He spent last night at a friend's house because he needed to think. I feel bad because I care about him and no conflict stresses him out. I told him to text me when he was ready to talk. He wasn't yet. My friends think that my hat request was unnecessary, and maybe I strained my relationship with my husband. I think he just needed space to think because conflict stresses him out. So I gotta ask, am I the Scrooge for saying I won't come if I don't wear a hat?
I'm almost speechless because the devil comment, what the fuck? The first time at Thanksgiving, a bad hair day, what does that mean though? Because I feel like a bad hair day can mean a multitude of things.
Yeah.
Though her doing it during Christmas as well, does she? I'm sorry. Did she explain what happened during the Christmas season that made her want to wear a hat?
She is trying to do it as like a statement. So
Oh, so she's being
less,
petty.
yeah, exactly.
That's
So
it.
less about the hat, but more so trying to see if she'll be accepted for who she is.
No, okay, she's a fucking Scrooge. But
Yeah,
also, so is the husband because he can't deal with conflict, which is terrible.
exactly.
Like, you need to be able to talk it out and find a mutual agreement between both parties.
Right.
But also, the mother in law is an ass for saying marry the devil, but also like being so nitpicky against a hat.
Yeah. It's like I know other families have very big, elaborate Thanksgivings where it might be like super fancy, and she did mention the mother-in-law is very traditional. But, like, the hat style, personally not my style choice,
Mm-mm.
but I can see how that hat can be, like, dressed up.
But
But
even still,
if you know the mother-in-law's, like, overly traditional, like, might go all out and have a fancy Thanksgiving, maybe you should not wear that hat. Like, for me and my family, like, our Thanksgivings are a lot more casual. But it's like, why like, you know the setting, you know the time
mhm,
and place, and yes, this is, like, your first married Thanksgiving together, but you've had to go to, like, other Thanksgivings, right? With the
mhm,
family?
exactly.
I don't know.
My Mine are always like we do business casual. We do like a button up shirt, maybe a sweater, something like kind of nice.
Mhm.
And like it always ends up that like someone in my family matches someone else unintentionally, just because like we all have the same idea of like what we like to wear.
Yeah.
But I also searched up the newsboy style hat. So for the audio listeners that we respect, and even our visual watchers, because I'm not doing a screen share. Sorry guys. Just picture like if you've been on Spaceship Earth, the kid who sells newspapers to the wall. Imagine him selling to that wall and the hat he's wearing. Or if you've seen Cheeky Blinders, kind of like that fatter hat that has a very small brim.
That's a
So,
good
like,
description.
in no way is it like unfashionable, but it's also not dressy. It looks like it's just a hat.
Yeah.
I think I think once again we have another Scrooge who married a Scrooge into a
Mhm.
family of Scrooges. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like everyone is being petty for no reason.
Literally. And there was one point I wanted to bring up. It's going to be the update.
Okay.
Update. My husband just texted me saying he just got off the phone with his mother. He told her off for calling me the devil and said that if I can't wear a hat, he's not coming either, and that she should really get over her antiquated BS. She did not respond well. I don't think we're going to Christmas there now, so maybe we'll have a friend miss? I don't know. We'll think of something.
Okay, the husband's redeeming himself, which I'm proud of.
Yeah, good
What's
for
with
him.
like I always thought it was just a stereotype for movies and shows where it's the mother-in-law of the husband dislikes the wife.
Yeah, I always thought that was like a trope until
Hmm.
like not to like out myself as a redditor again, but ever like since I joined Reddit and like I see like r slash relationships, r slash am I the asshole, I'm like, damn, y'all have a lot of issues. And I think there's a subreddit dedicated to bad mother-in-laws too.
New episode in the future.
Yeah.
My crazy mother-in-law.
Ooh, be a good one.
Um, what is the verdict though for like the general for this post? Who was a Scrooge and
So
who wasn't a Scrooge?
yeah, let me scroll down, read a comment. Someone, the top comment with 16,000 upvotes says, everyone sucks here. You took a situation that could have been a first step towards a less conscientious relationship with your mother in law and made demands which intentionally antagonized her. Damn, this person's using big words. Of course, you should be able to wear whatever you want, and your mother in law is being insane in the situation, but do you want to be right or do you want peace in your family?
But at the same time, why is the mother trying to make a situation?
Yeah.
But then
Let's
as well,
see.
why are you trying to make a conflict? Like,
Yeah.
I
Someone said, you're the asshole. You're literally trying to bait the mother in law. It's like you want a reaction from her. It's generally considered rude to be wearing a hat indoors while dining. And bad hair day, it's a family get together. Seems pretty immature to even be thinking about that. I'd expect it from a teenager, maybe, but an adult, you're putting your husband in a shitty situation.
no, she's got a good point. But
Yeah.
again, what is a bad hair day? Because I feel like that can be a lot of different things.
I don't know. For me personally, it's like my hair is really frizzy, or if it
Hmm.
dries weird and like my hair is like sticking out over here. I don't know. It's like different for everyone, but get
If you have
over
split
it.
ends,
Yeah.
like yeah, there's a lot.
But the
Whatever.
general consensus for this one was that this person actually it says everyone sucks, so everyone was the Scrooge.
Told you. God, people.
Ugh.
All right, Scrooge verdict number 3. What is the title we got for this one?
All right. Am I the Scrooge by avoiding Christmas after being excluded from a wedding for being a stripper?
Hmm.
Sorry.
Not the story I expected or the title
Yeah,
I expected to hear. Holy shit.
spit take. Whew. All right. So I, 30 female, quit my stressful white collar job 5 years ago and became self employed. The thing is, my self employment is an exotic dancer slash stripper slash entertainer. Make my own schedule, make great money, and 90% of the time I really enjoy my job. About 3 weeks ago into the job, I ran into a family member's significant other. Let's call him Bob, and my
Hi,
family
Bob.
member, Beth. Hi,
Hi,
Bob.
Beth.
Hi, Beth. Bob was just as surprised to see me as I was him. Bob and I both agreed to not say anything to anyone. Also, when you're hired at this club, we sign a confidentiality agreement to not speak about patrons seen in the club. I also want to mention we never touched or did a lap dance, but he saw me naked, considering the occupation. Fast forward 4 years later, Bob and Beth are now getting married, and of course it spilled out I'm a stripper and he came to my club 4 years ago. Still not sure of how everything came out. Someone definitely spilled. Anyways, now I'm the only family member excluded from the wedding. Mom, dad, and siblings invited. Every single family member attended the wedding without issue except for my mom and dad, who decided to not attend based on the fact I was excluded. I asked them to attend regardless, considering I really am not a huge fan of weddings anyways. Now, after the fact, I'm sort of bothered by it. Not by the lack of invitation, but what seems like complete agreement from my entire family that I deserve to be excluded. Excluding my parents' siblings still attended. It's as if everyone thought, well, she's a stripper and the future husband saw her naked once. She's not invited. And everyone agreed 100%. The wedding was this summer and I still haven't seen my extended family since then. When I said I wasn't attending Christmas with them, then there was concern came about me not being present and how I was so missed. So, am I the asshole?
Scrooge.
Scrooge?
Am I the Scrooge?
Oh, sorry. Am I the Scrooge? I was like, Scrooge?
No, she's
Yeah.
not. But the fucking family members are a bit rude, or not the family members, but the ones who had the wedding. I mean, they're a bit rude
Yeah.
for doing that. I think as well, it's like Bob going to the club
Hmm.
and then getting married to Beth. It's almost like it's better that he was honest and said like, "Hey, I saw her. Just so you know, like
Yeah.
nothing happened, all that stuff."
Because it definitely could have been seen as sus.
If he didn't say anything, that's the
Right.
thing.
But also, it's like, I wonder why it took until like so many years later for it to come out. Unless, like, it's like, oh, well, we're about to get married. Like, let me share like any secrets I have or like anything I'm keeping from you. So we both start like on a clean slate. Like, I can definitely see that happening.
Hmm.
But also, I can see it kind of happening in the way of like, hey, man, I saw so and so. And then like somehow it comes out and then
But
it
then,
gets
how did
back.
she keep a secret for so long?
Yeah. Well, she
Because
said it's.
the timeline would have been a year since she quit.
Mhm.
Bob was at the club. 4 years later, they're getting married. So that would have been her 5 years of being
Yeah.
self-employed.
But also,
She also
I
says
don't
she
know.
enjoys her job, which I think is like the most important thing, and great money.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
exactly. But also it makes me wonder, circling back to the whole I wonder how it came out thing. She did say this is extended family, like people she doesn't see that often. So I wonder if it was just kind of like, oh, there's Bob, like I know him, like this might be a little bit awkward, but it's like nothing to like tell people about.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But is well, Bob is a family
Or
member's partner, and
okay.
Beth is the family member.
Okay, yeah.
But is Beth in equivalence? Like, is she an aunt, a second aunt? Like,
Yeah.
what is she in relation?
Like a family friend. I don't know.
Hmm. Like, I don't know about you, but like my Christmases, it's always my family, grandparents of one side, the aunts
Mhm.
and uncles on that side, and then the cousins on that side, and then
Oh,
it's the
that's
opposite for the opposite side of the family.
That's the same exact here, yeah.
So how? I mean, it could also just be a very big family. That's the other thing.
Yeah. But it's like so funny because it's like, oh, well, we really want you to come to Christmas. Like, you'll be so missed if you don't show up. But it's
Hmm.
also like, a wedding? How dare you shake your ass? But it's like, she's still shaking her ass. She's still getting that coin. And she's like, what's the difference between a wedding and Christmas? Like, to me, Christmas seems a little bit more like sacred versus like a damn wedding.
Because isn't a big thing for most weddings, like if you get super religious when you get down to it, aren't some weddings like they have fun right after the wedding, right after
Oh,
all of it?
yeah, yeah,
Like, isn't so then that's more personal, which is
right.
kind of shaking ass for coin, like you
Shaking
said.
ass. Well, shaking ass for the ring. I guess it's not for the coin at that point. Or
Yeah.
in Beth's case, I don't know about
Hmm.
OP here.
Isn't like not prosecution, but um like exotic dancing, like that kind of stuff, isn't that like
Yeah.
the longest running profession in human history?
I have no clue.
Like
I think I have to do a Wikipedia search on this.
even there's even like a study I saw for female, or like a group of monkeys were given rocks or like a certain coin, and they learned the monetary value of them, so they taught them about like supply and demand, and then some of the monkeys learned that you could give other monkeys coins for like sexual favors, and then some monkeys would do stuff to earn the coins. Like they would approach the men.
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
That is insane.
Yeah. But
What?
for this, not the Scrooge.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
definitely,
The
definitely
family
not.
members are a bit of a Scrooge though.
Yeah. I mean, good on mom and dad for having their kids back.
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel
supporting
like that
it.
might be kind of like rare to see, so I was like surprised to see that.
Hmm. Because then it's also just like that's a personal choice of not
Mhm.
inviting someone because that's their job.
Right. And I see a really good comment here. Hold on, let me get it
Hmm.
pulled up. Someone said, not the asshole, and I disagree with anyone saying it's reasonable that she didn't invite you to the wedding. It's not reasonable because you're a stripper, and it's not reasonable because of Bob's involvement. If she's that uncomfortable with the Bob situation, then she probably shouldn't be marrying him. She would be blaming you for Bob's issues. Exactly.
Damn right.
I want to know like how old these people are. Like obviously the original poster is 30, but like in my head like the names Bob and Beth like they sound so old. I'm thinking of like a 50-year-old man heading to a strip club and he's like,
I bet nah, but for like something like this, I imagine when people make up fake names, it's
yeah.
based off like a movie or a show they really like.
Is there a Beth and a Bob?
Well, Bob, I just thought of either
Bob.
Bob's Bugs Be Gone or Bob Vance Refrigeration.
I thought of Bob the
And
Builder.
no, Jesus. I wonder if I search Bob and Beth, do I get a like a popular result?
Oh, that's a good question. Or maybe just because they both start with B's, like those are common B names.
It could be that as well, yeah. No, nothing comes up online.
Mm.
But yeah, what is the overall verdict? Like that was one of the comments, but like, what's the post?
Yeah, let me go ahead and see. Not the asshole. So this person, definitely not the asshole here.
I am 3 for 3 on this so far.
Oh, good job. That was
Ooh.
posted 9 months ago.
How recent are these? 9 months,
The
two
previous,
years,
yeah,
1 year.
yeah,
Okay. Is the next one older or more recent?
it's older.
By how much?
It's 3 years.
I think still significant.
Yeah,
In my brain, things either happened before 2000, before COVID, or after COVID.
yeah.
Like I swear everything is different after
You know,
COVID.
like AC and BC
Yeah, we have
after
before
COVID.
COVID, after COVID.
Yeah,
I like that.
me
We have
too.
two forms of BCAC now.
Oh, yeah, we do.
And then I feel like there's also a lot of news that like only recently I've been seeing been re-brought up, and it's
Hmm.
like news articles that happened that companies did right around when COVID panic really set in, and it was like get the last canned beans from
Uh,
the supermarket and hide in your home with your toilet paper fort.
yeah,
And like companies did like changes to like their health policies or changes to like how they supply management with like benefits and all this stuff, or like how they like moved funds around and it benefited like their top class people, like just like things like that, like very like what the fuck kind of moments.
yeah.
And it was all happening right when COVID was like whispered about, because so many people were focused on COVID. They knew like their news articles wouldn't be brought up as much. And then when
Hmm.
COVID really set in, everybody was kind of like watching Disney Plus, watching Netflix, binging. Like they were just doing stuff to hide away. So they
Yeah,
weren't checking the news because the news was just COVID is still happening, 1,000 more deaths. COVID is
yeah.
still happening, 500 more deaths.
Hot take. I miss like I guess this isn't a hot take. I kind of miss just like having like time, I guess, to like do
Yeah.
nothing, just like chill.
Yeah. It definitely felt like I had more availability because
Yeah.
I was in university. I started university when COVID happened because it was fall 2020 when like it was still really prominent. I ended university and basically I ended high school, and it was my last semester, and they basically said if you do any additional work starting now and it improves your grade will go up. If it diminishes your grade won't change. And if you do nothing, your grade will be what it was from right now.
Hell
And at the
yeah.
time, I only had two classes, but one was already online. So I had to do everything for that course. Let me just say, they also had the worst communication ever with when they wanted things submitted and when you had time to do your exam. So I was like scrambling one month to study and do it. But I ended up finding a full time job that like paid well, and like it got me out of the house, which was good. So a bit of fresh air and like a new environment.
Ooh.
Um, but like it was eerie. Like no
Yeah.
one was on the road.
Scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you just have like all this traffic.
Ugh, yeah.
I hate it.
Um, I'll say this about COVID, and this I don't know if it's a hot take or just something that like could be mistranslated. So I'll be as clear as I can. COVID overall, bad. New virus, people died, scramble for Medicare, scramble for, vaccines, all that stuff. A lot of people, lost jobs, all that stuff. It was a bad time, unfortunately. Though COVID did show many industries and many companies that you don't require your entire staff to be in office 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Yep.
You have the ability to work from home. You have
Yes.
the ability for your staff to continue their operations as
Mhm.
normal without commuting.
Yep.
So then that means less people on the roads, less CO2 emissions, you know, less traffic, so then less congestion, less cost on gas.
Mhm.
Like overall it's better. But that's just my opinion.
You should say it. You're
Say
right.
it.
I definitely agree. And I also feel like COVID taught us a lot about like weak points in our society. Like for example, supply chain.
Hmm.
Like it's so I feel like ever since COVID, it never like fully recovered. Like there's still supply chain issues to this day, I feel like.
You
And
think so?
obviously, I think so. Not as bad, obviously, but I feel like here and there, like it's a little bit for some
Yeah.
things because it did take a lot of companies to like recover and like build that back up. But I feel like it's also good, like these weak points were exposed so we can see how to strengthen
Hmm.
them.
Hmm. Well, we've never had like a global pandemic like this
Yeah.
since before like telecommunications and
Mhm.
smartphones and all this stuff. So back then it was kind of like, you read it in the newspaper and then you went home.
Yeah.
So you were already in public, so kind of everyone was already exposed, and there's nothing you could do about it. Nowadays, you can get a one of those alerts on an
Mhm.
iPhone that's like earthquake approaching your area within the next 5 hours. So
Yeah.
it's like this new technology,
Right.
and I think COVID really taught like a lot of countries like there needs to be proper infrastructure, and like if there's a pandemic that is spread, you know,
Mhm.
by touch or saliva or like coughing, like that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
then there needs to be more secure measurements rather than just, okay, we'll spend 2 months inside and then we'll see how we do. Oh, we
Yeah.
didn't do well, let's do 2 more months inside. Like Ontario was very much like that. Ontario was outside, inside, outside, inside.
Mhm.
Restrictions were not strict enough. And like I heard what Australia did, and it was a lot smarter, like how they
Yeah.
handled it.
Can you imagine though, like having something like that happen in the 1500s or some shit like that? And you ask Santa, like, "Oh, Santa, I really want a stick for Christmas so I can play in the sand." And then Santa brings you a stick, and then it's like, "Ah, damn, I can't go see Timmy." And then you
And show 'em
just
my new
so
stick.
yeah, exactly. You just gotta sit outside with a stick by yourself, like no iPhone to play games on. Like,
Well,
cool.
back then it was all witchcraft and
Oh yeah,
sorcery and
that's
black
right.
magic. There
Maybe
was
I
a
went a
big
little too far.
well, there was a big thing I saw recently where it was like one thing about like religious debates on like what like how one is satanic and they're casting
Oh,
like
yeah.
black, like they're having the devil kill us like through his
Yeah.
plague, and it was things like I forget what religious group it was, but it was like one religious group had cats, and the cats would kill the mice. So the mice couldn't transfer the disease into the house, so that
Mhm.
religious group didn't get affected. But the other religious group didn't have cats. So the mice got into the house, spread the germ, spread the virus, and killed those people because they got infected.
Yeah.
So then people that didn't get infected of the other religion would be like, well, they don't get hurt, so they're doing something to us because we don't believe in their same
Oh,
faith.
that's
Isn't that
crazy.
crazy?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. See, I love cats and mice, so for one story, I was happy, and then I was sad, and then the other one, I was like, "Yay!" But then sad because I didn't have cats. But
Oh my
anyways, I
god.
feel I feel like a stick would have been like a good Christmas. present back in
You're
the
a stick?
1800s. Yeah, not like the 1500s. I think I went too far there. I was thinking about like Victorian era, but
If I search up the 1800s, what does that look like?
I don't know. When was the Victorian era? I'm thinking of like that American Girl doll.
19th century was innovation, industrialization of Western Europe and the United States.
Mm,
Patents, urbanization, societal shifts, life in rural areas, economic systems, Civil War, Brooklyn Bridge was made, Statue of Liberty was made,
it's
South
crazy.
Fork Dam broke.
Oh,
Womp womp.
that sucks.
Wait, when did Christmas Carol take place? Isn't that the 1800s?
A Scrooge?
But it's not called the Scrooge, it's called a Christmas
Oh,
Carol.
yeah, but it has Scrooge in it.
Ah, 1843. I knew it.
See, he would have given little Timmy a stick because he
He
was
would have given him like
bad.
a roast feast.
Oh, well, that too, but if he never
I
changed his
think
ways.
I think that was the biggest thing back then. Like
Yeah,
like having food on your plate which is
that's
pretty
right.
sad.
Yeah, because they'd wear those little newsboys hats and they'd be like,
Hmm.
Sir.
The news. Oh God, not the newsboy hat.
But, I've been talking about sticks here, and I think it brings us to our next Am I the Asshole? Am I the Scrooge story?
You just want to talk about another story. We went
I
on a
did.
big side tangent. I'll
We
be
did.
honest.
I was like, this is not planned. Um,
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, okay, so this is definitely a Christmas present for a dog, a stick. But am I the Scrooge for asking my family not to bring their dogs to Christmas? My
Mm.
family does this thing, maybe most families do it. Whenever there's a family event or holiday, they bring their dogs with. I do it too, but my dog behaves. She comes when she's called and she doesn't beg and she plays well with other dogs and people and generally isn't a pest.
Good
This
girl.
year, good girl. uh, this year, my parents turned to host Christmas, but they have a lot going on at their house and asked if the family could come over to my house instead. I agreed because they said they'd still take care of the food and would come over Christmas Eve to help set up. Then, I remember that my family would probably be bringing a total of 3 dogs with them. My house is smaller than my parents' place. My parents' dog will for sure be coming because they're staying here Christmas Eve. My brother's dog is smaller and pretty good. I wouldn't mind her, but I really don't want my cousin's dog Sparky coming. That's such a stereotypical
Fuck
dog name.
Sparky.
He's a bad dog. Ooh, he runs
Ooh.
off, doesn't listen, pees inside, and has ripped open Christmas presents in the past, among other things. I told my mom about my concerns, and she said that I don't want Sparky coming and damaging my house. She said to just tell everyone no dogs, because it wouldn't be fair to not just allow one dog. So we did. I told my brother, and my dad told my uncle. It's a family dog, not to bring Sparky. I think my brother figured out the real reason. He said it was fine, that he understood, no big deal. My cousin, who's 22, texted me saying, You're ruining a family tradition. Dogs are family members too and they always have come with before. Sparky should be allowed to come. He's a good dog and the whole family loves him. They don't. I said sorry. I said, sorry, my house is a lot smaller than my parents'. With 8 people, it'd be too cramped having 4 dogs. It'll be cramped with 2 already. He asked why 2 dogs and asked who the other dog was. I said my parents were bringing their dog with since they're staying here Christmas Eve. My cousin said, wow, way to play favorites. I stopped responding because I'm not arguing about what I want in my house with him. I guess my aunt called my mom and said that now my mom doesn't want to, or wait, and said that my cousin doesn't want to come to Christmas because he doesn't want to leave Sparky alone. Am I the asshole for ruining a family tradition by not letting my whole family bring their dogs?
No, because Sparky's a little shit.
Yes, sounds
Why
like
is this like no, I don't want to bring that into my house. Sorry.
no. It sounds like Sparky's a little shit, and why is it playing favorites when it's the parents? Like, the parents are
Hmm.
spending the night. And it sounds like all of these family members live, like, generally close, like, to each other.
I would think the opposite. If they're spending the
Oh.
night, they don't live close.
Well,
That would
except
make
for
more
the
sense.
yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah.
wait. Is it
Here's
just
my
the
thing.
parents?
The two are staying because the parents are staying with them.
Yeah.
which makes sense.
Okay.
No, I don't. I wouldn't want a dog in my house that's gonna make a mess. Fuck that.
No, I'm
Like
not a dog person.
my family. Okay, my parents and I and my sister. We used to have two dogs.
Hmm.
They passed away both around the beginning of COVID. Not because of COVID. They were just old,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But they were rather calm, friendly, never aggressive. I had a German Shepherd, never aggressive, and like just they kind of spent time to themselves. They'd lay down, they'd play if we went
Hmm.
outside, and they knew when to like ask to go outside to use the washroom. But it just sounded like Sparky just was not trained growing up, and now it's just like it's too late, or it's too young and it still is being trained.
Yeah. I don't
Like,
know.
does your family or anyone have dogs that like kind of similar to Sparky?
I used to have a Sparky.
No.
Her name was Rio, and
Okay.
she was just like crazy. Like sometimes she'd like she'd like
Arr.
bite you, and like she she kind of like had health issues towards the end, so she would like make messes and stuff like that. But like other than that, she was like an okay dog, but she wasn't that well like trained, I guess.
She was a bitch.
Literally, she was a
It
female
means
dog.
if she was a female dog.
Yeah, but I don't know. Some people's dogs, I don't like. I have well, I have one dog, but I'm currently
Okay.
watching another dog long
Okay.
term. It's a little bit complicated, but this dog that
Mm.
is not my dog, it's a little rambunctious.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
yeah,
Is it like
he's a
does it knock
yapper.
thing? Oh, I was gonna say, does it knock things down? Is it a yapper? Does it leave a mess? Like that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
In my opinion, if I was in this situation and I was like hosting and I had my family, I would say
Mhm.
like no dogs, period, because I don't want to bring that into my house.
Yeah.
And like if a family member says I can't come if my dog can't come, I would just say like I'm sorry to hear that. Could have like the other thing is how long are you out of the house that you can't
Right.
trust your own pet? Because typically what my family would do is we would feed them a little bit earlier so
Mhm.
that they would go to the washroom before we left, and then
Mhm.
we bring them inside, and then you know lock front door, lock back door, and then leave.
Right.
But then we would be conscious of, okay, we've been out of the house for this long. Now is a good time to head home because we've
Mhm.
socialized as much as we needed to and wanted to, and we
Yeah.
should make sure that the animals are fed for dinner, or they go to the side once more before we go to bed, like that kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So like how long are these people out of the house?
Exactly. And I can understand if the pet has a medical condition. Like my dog
Mm-hmm.
just recently got diagnosed with diabetes, and we had to leave Thanksgiving
Oh.
early because we had to give her like her food, and then we had to wait 30 minutes and then give a shot. Like I can understand if it's like that circumstance, but based off of what was said, like no animal has like a medical circumstance like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it, like I get it. Dogs are family. Pets are
Mm-hmm.
family.
Mm-hmm.
My cat, he's like my son. But you don't see me like, hey, can I bring my cat
Can
to
I
your
bring?
Christmas Eve? Can I bring my cat to Thanksgiving? What?
No.
No.
That's like the people that bring their dog to like the grocery store or like Home Depot, but they're not like a service animal. It's
Oh my
like a service animal is necessary. That I can fully respect and understand because it's even to the point like they're
yeah.
trained by a professional and then they have that cute little vest and
Mhm.
like don't pet. You're not
No,
allowed
don't.
to, but you can admire it because it's a cute dog. But
Exactly.
then when it's like just like a little like runt that's in their grocery cart, I'm just like, you fucker.
Like, not to discriminate towards like dog breeds, but I'm pretty sure a little white crusty ass dog is not considered a service animal. Like when I think service animal, I think of like a golden retriever or I think of a
Hmm.
German shepherd. Like I think of
Hmm.
like a stronger, bigger dog.
Yeah,
I don't think of
a
these.
full size animal.
Yes, exactly. Or even a miniature horse. Did you know miniature horses are the only other animal ADA compliant to be a service
What?
animal? Mhm.
Is this real?
Yes, it is. I used to work at Busch Gardens and we had someone who would come every single week with her miniature horse.
American with Disabilities Act allows miniature horse to be trained. You Americans are so interesting. If I
Like,
saw a miniature horse on a fucking cruise ship, a plane, a train,
I don't know if they can go on planes or a train. Cruise ship,
but like
maybe.
people bring their service animals for those kind of things.
Oh my God. I That's true. That's true. That reminds me,
Hmm.
Margaritaville is
Hmm.
doing a cruise where they're letting
Yeah,
people bring their dogs. Can you imagine how fucking rank that must smell?
that's gonna smell so bad.
Oh my God. And I think it's leaving out of Tampa too.
That fits. No
It really
offense.
does. No, it really does. But I don't know. I just don't understand this whole entire thing where we need to bring dogs everywhere with us. Unless it's a
We
service animal.
don't.
Exactly. Leave your animal home. I go to Home Goods and Marshall's probably about like twice a week. To me, that is like my entertainment. I just go in, I find
Hmm.
trinkets. Sometimes I buy trinkets. But there's always a fucking dog when I go in.
I don't want
Always.
to. I don't want to go too in depth because I want to save time for the final story. Because I know you
Yeah.
hinted we have five
Oh,
that
that's
that are
true.
for this episode. But at one point, there was like a big debate on TikTok where a girl brought her like pug or something,
Yes.
or like a miniature bulldog into not Marshalls, but like Whole Foods or something like that, and it
Yes.
like pissed on half the food, and then she asked the cashier to clean it up.
The
If I
entitlement.
Let me just say, if I was in that position of like the cashier and I was told, "Hey, we need you to clean up," I'm like, "No, you need to find a new cashier. I'm gone. See ya."
Yeah,
No way am I cleaning up some random girl's dog's piss.
that's disgusting. When I was in
Who?
Home Goods, like, a few days ago, there was a dog sniffing, like, these, like, plates.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting.
Oh, ew! Like
He's like
just the
he's, like, sniffing these plates that were, like, for purchase. Like, can you imagine? Obviously, I hope you're
ugh.
washing your utensils before, like, you use them, but, like, that
Yeah.
is disgusting.
But let's say like the dog's like snot or whatever got on it, it would then dry, and then it could. I like correct me if I'm wrong. Could it not like grow a bacteria or something on that, or like some?
It definitely could. It
Let's
definitely
move. Let's
could.
move away from this. Let's just talk
Yeah.
about the last story, please. Oh wait, were they a Scrooge? The dog hosts or the not dog hosts?
Oh, let me grab that. Sorry, I got so excited for our next one because this one is one I want to debate.
Oh
Not
yay!
not the asshole, not the
Good,
Scrooge.
good.
All right,
Because they're not.
they're definitely not. So,
Final one.
final one. This one is good. Am I the Scrooge for telling my husband that I don't want him to take a nap on Christmas Day?
That's good.
All right. My husband, 40, and I, oh, 40 male, and I, female, 39, have been married for more than 15 years. We're independent people, but we enjoy spending time together too. He's a night owl, and I'm a light sleeper. I can't sleep in no matter what I do, and I never nap. I'm not good at it anyways, and I consider it lost time in a day, and lost time with our daughters, 9 and 10, and time that could have been well spent doing chores, playing, exercise, etc. My husband loves to nap. He'd do it almost every day. Besides, he sleeps in every morning on weekends and days off. I don't mind it that much because I would also like to do it if I only could. We used to take turns when I was still able to sleep in. However, that is on top of the napping. Even if I tell him to go to bed earlier, to please not nap, especially when the girls are around, he just doesn't care. He'll nap anyways. He never gives in to my requests. Today's Christmas Day. We had a party yesterday and we went to bed very late. I was exhausted. However, that was about his usual bedtime. I go to bed 2 to 3 hours before he does. We managed to wake up at 9 a.m., which is awesome for me. We watched our daughters open up their presents and ate breakfast. I asked everyone if they would like to watch a Christmas movie. The girls declined, preferring to play with their toys. Then my
Valid.
husband, yep, exactly. Then my husband immediately went to bed at like 11 a.m. on Christmas Day. I'm beyond appalled. I can't even believe this. We could have played with the girls, watched a different movie, or even anything he'd enjoy, clean up the Christmas mess, anything at all. But no, he went back to bed. Am I the asshole for critiquing him? being mad at him on Christmas Day, and for trying to control when he sleeps.
No, because it's 11 a.m. and you're a full grown adult. Have a cup of coffee. How much time does this dude sleep?
I was gonna say this person's the asshole.
For getting mad that he's napping at 11
Yeah,
a.m.?
yeah.
But why are you putting it all on the wife to now clean up, entertain the girls, get ready for the next like event of the house for the house? Like he
I
was up for
mean,
2 hours. He managed to wake up at 9 a.m. and he went to bed at 11 a.m.
I
That's
mean,
2 fucking hours.
he should have helped out and then took a nap. But I don't think she should be policing him on when to sleep.
On a holiday, he should be on a better behavior, if you ask me.
Well, listen, I love to sleep. I love to nap. Sometimes I will purposely take a sleep gummy so I can go to bed for like 12 hours.
Yeah, but that's at night. This guy didn't do that.
Well, like it's Christmas, it's a holiday. Like it's probably like one of his days off. So he's probably like,
But but then
take a nap.
okay, they don't go in depth on this. However, I will say like fuck, how do I phrase this? They open presents. I imagine if it was like every other family, like my family, the dad held the
Yeah.
garbage bag and threw out all the stuff.
Hmm.
But then, like after that, you still need to make sure, like his presents are put together so that it's not awkwardly spread out throughout the living room or whatever room.
Yeah.
And then if they're going to do like a breakfast or a lunch, help with that,
Hmm.
and then take a nap so that his chores are done.
Yeah. I mean, I I'm not gonna deny the fact that he should have helped out. He definitely should have done stuff. Like it's not fair for him to leave it like on the wife. But
Hmm.
also, I want to bring this point up. The wife said we're pretty independent people. Okay, and she was like, it sounded like she was a little annoyed because the girls went to go play, like with their
Hmm.
toys. And it's like, well, we could have played with them. But it's like, I feel like if you and your husband are independent people, like,
Hmm.
anyways, like, you probably like parallel play. Like, you're probably in the same room doing the same different things. So it's like maybe
Hmm.
the daughters just wanted to play with their toys. Like, so what kind of makes you think like they wanted to play the toys with you?
True. Like yeah, if the kids want to play by themselves, by all means.
Yeah.
I still think the husband should have done a little more before
Yeah.
napping after 2 hours of socializing.
Yeah. But I don't know.
In my opinion, she's not a Scrooge.
To me, she's the Scrooge.
Is there like a verdict? Is there like popular comments?
There is actually, let me read some of the comments here. Not the asshole for wanting to spend time with your husband. You're the asshole for arguing with everyone who says you're the asshole. If you don't want an answer to your am I the asshole question, or you're only willing to accept a not the asshole answer, then don't bother posting the question here. Go to a different group. Ooh, so it sounds like she was
Ooh.
arguing with people.
Was she? I want to see if she her like because doesn't it say OP next to comments that are hers?
Yeah. But if they're downvoted, you might have to go to her page. But here's a comment. You're the asshole. First, if your husband sleeps this much, you need to consider if he has a untreated sleep disorder. Yep. If so, this could cause huge problems down the road for his physical health. Second, you
True.
and he clearly need to sit down and have an open and honest discussion. Is he depressed? Is he using sleeping as an escape from marital issues or family responsibilities? A
Oh
good
shit.
therapist could help you sort these issues. Third, stop being jealous of your husband's ability to sleep and seek treatment for your own insomnia. Fourth, don't let this ruin Christmas for the kids. My mom was always just nasty and angry about something every Christmas, all day, and it made Christmas horrible. Some points were made.
Okay, those are valid, and I will agree with those.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe he does have something going on that he needs to address, and he's not talking about it, and that's why they do stuff so independently.
Hmm.
But we don't know that unless she said it. Is
Yeah.
this a post with like edits or updates like the other ones?
Let's see. Edit. Okay, so you all have kids. Kids alone on Christmas Day with a father that doesn't care. plus the plus or minus 104 days of the weekends throughout the year he spends in bed without spending time with them. I don't care that much that it's Christmas Day. To me, it's worse, honestly, but if that were the one time of the year, it would be okay. But no, he naps all the time, not just today. I don't think you took the whole situation into consideration.
And that's what I'm
Well,
saying. He constantly does it. He could have one day where he's a little stronger.
sorry, I have like music playing in my head, Stronger by Britney Spears, but I don't want to get
No.
us copyrighted. But, anyways, I definitely think, like, reading that piece of extra information, the husband, it sounds like he does not spend time with his kids. So, first of all, Scrooge on him. Scrooge on him.
Scrooge on
But
him.
I have to say, as a napper, I gotta defend. I gotta defend. If you want a nap, you gotta have a nap.
But nap later on. Like if she said he helped me clean up
Yeah,
and then we had lunch as a family
right,
and then the kids played while I did my own thing and he took a nap and then she
right.
was annoyed about that, then in my opinion she'd be a Scrooge.
Yeah.
But considering it was like, okay, presents, gonna go play.
I
Like
do have
that's
to
kind of like, are you
say,
fucking kidding?
yeah, I do have to say, the wife does seem jealous that he gets better
Oh,
sleep.
she's definitely jealous for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
What is the overall verdict? Because like it sounded like the comments were divided.
Overall, from what was assigned, Scrooge, this person's a Scrooge.
Fuck.
I wanna go through some of their comments here.
Go for it.
They're being sarcastic in this one. To me, this is serious. I agree with this. Sure, a nap a day, the key to happiness and success in life. Thanks. I want that on a shirt. I love
Let's try
that
to.
word.
Well, I don't want to steal someone else's idea, but let's talk about that for potentially merch for this show.
Oh yeah, I love napping.
We got to find a
Oh,
time to do that because it'd be fun to make merch, low key.
yeah. This comment, self-care is getting a good night's sleep. He never does. He spends his evening with friends or gaming.
Did
All
he? Did
right.
she? Did she say that?
That was one of the first comments she responded to, or she put, "Go to sleep, man, and go through your days like a grown-up. Do you have kids?" All right, now I have to say, not the asshole, not the Scrooge, but her attitude is very, very disgusting. I don't like her
So,
attitude.
so he's an avid gamer,
Yeah, sounds like he's a gamer dude.
late at night.
Yeah,
So that's why. So that's why he's so tired. He's probably up late as
exactly.
hell. God.
I know
See?
someone I know someone who's a gamer, stays up till 4 a.m. screaming. I'm like, shut
Oh
the
my
fuck
god.
up.
My roommate's a bit of a gamer. I'll be
Oh,
honest.
yeah, he is. He
I don't
is.
hear I don't hear him much. I do hear him sometimes when he's playing because I think he does stream. So every now and
Yeah.
then I'll hear him do like a plate up reaction. You know, because obviously
Nice.
that's gonna get better views if you're
Oh,
like
yeah.
more enthusiastic, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And he a few times I've heard him playing, and I'm just like, oh, he got him, he killed them.
You definitely got him.
Yeah, and then another time I'm just like, oh yeah, he has really bad teammates. I can sympathize with that.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for these Scrooge topics.
Yeah.
And then next week we'll be doing Christmas episode, like I said. I think so far Lynn and I have brainstormed talking about Christmas movies, Christmas
Mhm.
food, wish list, traditions, overall weather, because we have
Yeah.
such differences, and see where else things go from there.
Yeah.
So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and stay wild until the following week when we talk more Christmas stuff.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna go take a nap now.
Oh my fucking god, of course you are.
All right, but I can't do that without saying, stay wild.